Today I'm going to show you how to create your own computer program using a tool called Scratch. So that you can create the program along with me, pause this video whenever you need to and repeat the steps on your computer. Here is how your finished project will look. If you click on the green flag, it will start the project. And when I click on the green flag, the tacks start to blink. If I click on a tack, a volcano appears and there's a fact about that volcano. If I click on a different tack, the volcano appears over by this tack and I get a different fact. If I click on the stop sign, it stops the program. So that's what we're going to create today. Ask your teacher how to get to the blank project that we started for you. The blank project has no code or programming logic added to it, but it does have the graphics so you can get started more easily. The first step to looking inside of someone else's Scratch program, which you can do on any program on the Scratch website, is clicking on the See Inside button. And it's a great way to learn about programming by seeing what other kids and other teachers have created. The first thing I'm going to do is sign in. Ask your teacher what username and password you should use. Now that I'm signed in, I can save my work back to the Scratch website. Because I'm remixing someone else's program, which is the one that we created for you, you're going to click the Remix button. And I'm going to click on OK, I got it. And it's creating a copy of the program just for you. So I'm going to rename this Kim's Volcanoes. You should ask your teacher what they would like you to call it so that you can tell your project apart from someone else's. I'm going to click on File and Save Now, and now I'm ready to get started. So first, a little bit about Scratch. The way Scratch works is it's like a show. Like there's a stage and there are sprites that go on the stage, and a sprite can be a person or an animal or a drum or any prop or anything that you need for your project. In this case, our sprites are the tacks and the volcano. So every sprite has three components to it. It has a script area where you can make it do things. You can make it move or do some kind of work. Costumes, you can change how it looks. It can switch costumes and look in a different way. And it can make a sound, either by choosing a sound from the library that comes with Scratch, or you can record your own sound by clicking on the microphone. So those are the three things that a sprite can do. And in our program, our volcano is going to do most of the work. The volcano in this scenario is what we call a listener, and it's a very common concept in software development where you have one object that just listens to know when it should do some work. And in this case, the tacks tell it what to do. So the volcano really just listens for the tacks to tell it what to do, and then it starts doing all the work. It moves to the location of the tack and it displays a message about that volcano. So let's get started first on what the tack does. So I'm going to click on, let's name our tacks first, because it's important when you're coding to name your variables something that's meaningful to you. It makes your code more readable and it actually helps you make fewer mistakes. So I'm going to rename just by clicking on the I and typing with my keyboard each of the names of the tacks. And then I click this left arrow when I'm done. So now all my tacks have a good name. I'm going to move them on the map where they need to go. You can see that they look alike, but if I click on it, it blinks so I can tell one tack from another. So this is Mount St. Helens, and I'm going to move all these tacks approximately where they should go on the map. Kilimanjaro goes there, and Mount Vesuvius goes right there. So now that I've got all my tacks on the map, I'm going to start telling them what to do. So St. Helens, I'm going to click on that sprite, and then I'm going to add a script for that sprite. Now, whenever a script starts, it has to respond to an event. So it has to have something that starts the script running, and that will be behind the event menu. In this case, our tack, when it's clicked, that's what starts this event. So I'm going to say when this sprite is clicked by just dragging it over into this area. The next thing we have to do is we have to store, what we're going to do is the tack tells the volcano where it is, and that allows the volcano to move to the tack. The way in Scratch, without knowing too much about geometry, the way that anything knows where it is or where it should go is using X and Y coordinates. You don't have to know a ton about that, but just know that every sprite has an X and Y location, and we're going to store that. So first, the way I would store that is to create a variable under the Data menu. I'm going to call it Volcano X. I'm going to use the defaults that are here. I'm going to make another one for Volcano Y. So that's going to let me, the tack is going to store where it is. So I'm going to then drag these over, and they click just like little Lego blocks. I'm going to set Volcano X and Volcano Y to this tack's current location, and that's located under Motion. If I scroll all the way to the bottom, X position is going to store the X position of this tack, and Y position stores the Y position of this tack. So what I'm doing is I'm putting my X and Y position of this Mount St. Helens tack into these two buckets or variables. The next thing I'm going to do is, again under the Events menu, is I'm going to send two broadcast messages. And the volcano is going to be listening for these messages. So the first thing I'm going to say is tack clicked. That lets the volcano know, hey, a tack was clicked, get ready to do something. And then the second broadcast I'm going to send is, I'm going to click on New Message and type in St. Helens. So the volcano is going to know a tack was clicked, and it was the St. Helens tack that got clicked. So that's really all the script that's necessary for the tack. The next step would be for the volcano. The first thing I'm going to want to do is identify the event that's going to make this volcano do its work. And that is, it's going to, when it receives the event, the broadcast. So when I receive tack clicked, the volcano is going to move to where that tack is. It's going to zoom out and like make it bigger, and it's going to say something about that tack. So those are the three things that the volcano is going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is in the Looks menu, I'm going to make sure that, actually first I'm going to go to the location. Let's do that first. Let's go to the location of the tack. So I'm going to the Motion menu say go to X and Y coordinates. Now the way I know where to go is because I stored it in my bucket, in my variable. So I'm just going to drag these over from the Data menu, and now it knows to go to that location. In fact, if I clicked this, it goes, did you see it move right over there? So it knows where to go. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set its size to 0. So that's going to make it essentially like it's gone, like you can't even see it, and that's going to make this really dramatic entry when it expands in size. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, under the Control menu, I'm going to make it get a little bigger 10 times in a row. So I'm going to click the Repeat block. Anything inside the Repeat block is going to repeat, is going to execute that many times. So I'm going to change its size by 10 times. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. I'm going to type in here 10 seconds with my keyboard. So that's going to give your reader a chance to read your fact while that volcano is nice and big. And then I'm going to add another repeat block, and I'm going to change its size back down to 0. So let's change your size back to negative. I'm sorry, negative 10, which is going to make it shrink back down. So it came from 0, 10 times it changed by 10. Now it's going to change 10 times down by negative 10. It's going to make it smaller. So let's try it. If I click on the green flag and I click on Mount St. Helens, my volcano appeared, and in 10 seconds it should shrink back down. While that's shrinking back down, I'll make it respond to the other event. The other event was the broadcast when I received St. Helens. So when I receive St. Helens, I want to say a fact about St. Helens, which is behind the Looks menu. So I hit Say, and then here's where you insert your fact about St. Helens. And I would give your reader at least 10 seconds to read your message. If I click it again, I hit the green flag to start, then I hit the tack. You can see that it would say whatever your fact is about St. Helens. So that's essentially all the program needs to do, except that you need to repeat those steps for Kilauea, Kilimanjaro, and Vesuvius. So the easiest way to do that is if I go to St. Helens, and this script right here, if I very carefully drag it over and drop it onto Kilauea and then let go, it doesn't look like it did anything, but it really did. It copied that script right to that sprite as well. So if I click on Kilauea, now I see a script there. Kilimanjaro, I see a script. I didn't do it to Vesuvius yet, so there's no script there. So I'll do that last one. Just click it and let it go right on top. And there it is. So now they all have the same script because they all do essentially the same thing. The thing that's different is what is the message that I'm sending. So we're going to make this one send a Kilauea message. We're going to make this one send the Kilimanjaro message. And Vesuvius is going to send the Vesuvius message. The last step would be to go to the volcano and have it respond to those events. So the way you do that is when I receive a Kilauea, when I receive Kilimanjaro, and when I receive Vesuvius. Behind the Looks menu is your Say block. So I just click that in there to those places. And this is where you would add your fact about Kilauea, Kilimanjaro, and Vesuvius. So if I click the green flag, all of these should respond by moving the volcano and saying something. That's where you would put your facts. And there they go. So some final things that you could do to this program to make it a little more interesting, if you have time, would be to make the tacks blink. And there'll be some information in a separate video on how you might do that. And you can go to your stage, and notice this white area down here. You can go to backdrops and decorate this bottom area. You can tell your users that they should click on the tack, a little bit of information how to use your program. You can put your name, your first name only, don't put your last name, or colors, whatever you like to decorate this to make it look like it's your very own program. And anything else that you want to do, if you wanted to add another volcano that you know of, do that and add the scripts just the way we did with the others. But have fun with it, and I hope this inspires you to write your own programs and look at the Scratch website and learn from what other students and teachers have done. I hope you've enjoyed it.